Can you use the hook story offer script to sell a high ticket item like a $5,000 coaching program as opposed to having to use a perfect webinar? Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome to another edition of Letting the Chickens Out with Jim. And so that's a really great question, and the reason somebody asked is because in Funnel Scripts we've released the hook story offer script. We did that last week. People are getting really cool results with it, and they're excited. And anytime we come out with a new script, people are like, hey, can I use this for that? Or can I use this for that? And the answer always is maybe. Now, here's the thing you got to understand. When somebody buys a $100, $97 software program, there's a, good morning, everybody. There's a whole different level of anxiety or trepidation or caution on their side than there is if, hey, Jason, than there is if they are buying something for $5,000. Now, a great way to think about this is if you think about trying to get somebody to buy something, and let's pretend that they're a kettle. And in order to get somebody to buy, you have to make the kettle boil. But the person has objections, they have concerns, they have worries, and those are like holes in the kettle. And the more holes you have in the kettle, you can't get it to boil. So your job is to plug those holes in the kettle, literally. And only once you've plugged those holes will the kettle boil. Now, if you're selling something for $97, there are a lot fewer holes in the kettle, a lot fewer concerns on people's part, as opposed to somebody who's you're trying to get them to buy something for $5,000. So what that means is that with the low ticket item, you probably only have to overcome a couple of concerns like, hey, here's what we're selling, here's why we're selling it, here's what it'll do for you, and here's what it costs. And maybe there's a couple different concerns. But if you're trying to get somebody to spend $5,000 with you, then there's a bunch of other concerns that they have. Is this really going to work? Did this work for other people? Why are you selling this? Why are you teaching this instead of just doing it for yourself? There's all kinds of other stuff on their minds. So what you've got to do is plug those holes. So whereas the hook story offer script just by itself would work great for a $100 product, if you're going to try and sell a $5,000 product with it, then you're going to have to add some stuff. You're going to have to add testimonials. You're going to have to add proof. You're going to have to add a really good guarantee. You're going to have to add a whole bunch of stuff that isn't necessarily going to be necessary. You're like, that isn't necessarily going to be necessary for other stuff. So you just need to keep that in mind. The other thing is that you just simply have to test. But the biggest thing is just thinking about what you're asking somebody to do and what information is going to be necessary to get them to take the action you want them to take. So I'm not going to tell you yes, I'm not going to tell you no. I'm just going to tell you that when you're asking somebody for $5,000, it's a lot different than asking somebody for $100. So there are other things that you need to address, and that's why I love that metaphor of the kettle, because that really shows you, hey, asking for more money, big time, you're going to have to overcome objections and take care of stuff. So anyway, I'm Jim Edwards. I hope you have a great day. By the way, these are the kinds of things that we talk about in bars. What am I talking about? Well, one of the coolest things about going on the gym boat is you get to hang out in bars with me and ask me questions. So if you think being able to ask me questions in bars or on shore excursions or by the pool or anywhere else would be cool, then you need to hop on the gym boat. The cabins are getting snatched up left and right. You need to be on the gym boat. We'll put a link up there. You can find out more about it. We're going to be giving you a lot more information this week and next week because we need people to start signing up. I look forward to seeing you guys on the gym boat. You have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.